Man, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Same time, same place, pretty much. Jay, homie, shout out once again, bro. Badass shit. So I was sharing some chocolate with him. Super nice guy. He cut my fucking awesome looking haircut right now. Anyways.
Just gonna zoom in on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna zoom in on that. Badass shit. Anyways, so I was sharing some chocolate with him because naturally, you know, your homie's doing something nice, you gotta do something nice back. Yeah, brought some fruit over. Anyways, so fucking everyone's got the sweet tooth. They like to enjoy when they eat and whatnot. And I'm here to share like all the fucking health, whatever people say. Like eating healthy doesn't have to be shitty. Of course not. Okay, so everyone's got the sweet tooth. I'm gonna teach you a couple of little principles about eating healthy effectively, so you can enjoy eating and it'll be healthy. So dark chocolate is something just like working out, like I stated, that your taste for it in the beginning might not be at the same palate. Just like when I had injured myself and it hadn't worked out, my palate for working out had like lacked, you know, and I had to regain that palate for working out. Just like you're going to have to gain a palate for eating healthy, but it's temporary, and it's just gotta push through and motivate yourself. And before you know it, you will literally enjoy eating healthier more than you would a freaking McDonald's Big Mac or whatever that people want. And the reason that is because, and like I don't know the last time I've ate one, but there's been times where literally I could be like freaking hungry as fuck, and that would not be appetizing to me. And it's because when I taste something like that, it just tastes like I'm eating like a clusterfuck of like weird ass flavors and like overstimulation of shit. But the average American's taste buds are dull because of overstimulation. You know, hence like dark chocolate doesn't really taste that good to most people, and they want fucking, you know, M&Ms and not. I mean, M&Ms are cool. Like I eat those too. But a lot of stuff that is like literally a Twinkie. Like, dude, the amount of fucking stimulation that shit is in your mouth is ridiculous, and the taste buds are used to that shit.
Are you talking about the sugars, or?
Oh yeah, well it's not just
dyes?
simple. It's not like okay, so banana has sugar in it, you know.
Yep.
That sounds like lots of sugars, like a shit ton. But in a Twinkie, that's got high fructose corn syrup, most likely.
Yep.
I mean, soda definitely does, but it's the same shit. It's like, yeah, fucking flavor, motherfucker, gah! And you're just so used to that. It's like almost only going to techno concerts and just be like, bah, 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 like all the time. And then you go to some like, you know, laid back, like, you know, Jack Johnson or freaking Zach Brown band, where you'd be like, what? This isn't music. Or listen to like maybe Beethoven, because it's not enough stimulation. They can't even experience the beauty and that flavor, so to speak.
Nicely
And
put. Nicely
yeah,
put.
weird analogy. But anyways, so if you just literally just go shopping, to take out all the fucking overstimulating food, and just go shopping.
So give us a good list. Just give us the list that you would.
For sure. So
quick
Trader
list.
Joe's. If we're in Trader Joe's, you just want to hit up your 3 macronutrients. You got your fats, you got your carbohydrates, and you got your protein. Those are the 3 macronutrients.
Give us an
That's
example
all
for
your
each.
body needs. So yeah. So for proteins, freaking of course, you don't want to go to McDonald's, get that burger. That's the protein mixed with a bunch of other shit, you know. But if you just freaking get some canned chicken, you can do it cheap too. Canned chicken and freaking, you know, you get some sweet potatoes, good complex protein, you know, carbs, and then throw some olive oil, a little bit of cinnamon, you know, and freaking some lemon juice, and blah. Believe it or not, simple as that, those 5 ingredients sound, it'd probably be pretty good, especially if you work out and you're hungry and you just boom. It's super healthy for your body, so you're training your body like to really take in those nutrients. And the reason actually the high fructose corn syrup might be appealing to the body is because it's such an intense concentration of carbohydrates, which in the old times, which our body is used to getting massive amounts of whatever survival, you know, nutrients in such a small dose. But we're not in that time period anymore, and so you're literally just overloading your body with this unnecessary concentration of shit that you would never need to survive.
You're talking about the people that just go home after work and relax on the couch or watch TV, because we're not in the time of need of going out and hunting for our food.
Yes, and your body naturally is always wanting to do the least amount of work to survive. Or else we wouldn't be an efficient species. We would have died off at Flag. Back then, we'd like to freaking do 1,000 push-ups and run a bunch, and then hopefully catch our food. But you know, back then you would do the amount of exercise you needed to get the food, because it was not abundant. You couldn't just freaking go to the grocery store and get it. And then same with fats too. Getting fats was not very easy back then, you know, and salts and stuff like that. Salt's incredibly hard to get back then, you know. You literally had to get it from, I don't know even the sources that you had to get it back then, but it was very hard to get, which is why people were crave salts, you know. And then same with sugars. That's like a high intense, but getting carbs wasn't so plentiful back then, you know. It's well known now that most of the diet was nuts, you know, and meat, and you know, of course, you got the legumes and fruits and whatnot. But yeah, anyways.
Okay, so you said protein.
Yeah, protein. Thank you for getting me back on track.
This is a good habit. To the circle.
No, yeah, back to the circle. So proteins, you just get some good simple shit, mix it up. You know, grass-fed beef in general is better because you got more omegas. It's a healthier cow because it's more made to digest that. So if you can, go for that. A little bit more expensive, but it's worth it, and it's more nutritionally dense. Yeah, mix it up. Don't go freaking only fish. Of course, magnesium and shit in there. So chicken, mix that up. Carbohydrates. Morning, start your morning with some fruit. The way I would do it, get some bananas. They're cheap, and nutrient and price ratio is really good. Kiwi, really good nutrient and price ratio. And then just go to the frozen fruit section, get some frozen fruits, throw that in a smoothie with some kale, and then you know, some freaking maybe if you want to throw some protein in there, some plant protein.
I've heard of kale. Like why kale?
Okay, kale is very, very dense. It's a very dark leafy green vegetable. It has a lot of the nutrients that broccoli has in it. There's one thing that people don't like about kale, but that's if only in massive quantities, and it only affects women's thyroid if it's not cooked. It's not cooked, it says that. But it's super, you know how health food shit is. So don't even worry about that. Just get that kale. It's a complex carbohydrate, a lot of nutrients in it, and it's very dense nutrients. So start that in a smoothie. Freaking get some good toast, you know, if you're not if you don't have negative effects from gluten. And then just freaking get some brown rice in your diet, some regular rice, you know. Just get those meats, and then
so you did carbohydrates, you did proteins,
do it all. If you're exercising, you need your carbs, protein, and then fats. And then for the fats, just get healthy fats. You get olive oil. So if you're cooking with eggs, some little olive oil in a pan, maybe a little coconut oil if you want to mix it up. I would always do that. A little bit of salt, you know, some cayenne pepper, some garlic, you know, maybe get some minced garlic, throw that in there. Cayenne pepper and garlic together, there's a lot of research that it's really healthy for you. Cardiovascular, a couple other things, so do that. You know, some fish oils in the morning, you know. It's just, you know, a couple basic, well understood supplements that are like clearly healthy and beneficial for you. You know, it's fully proven, it's good for brain, skin, a bunch of shit. So anyways, definitely get that. That's the fats, and just literally just get that broad spectrum of just thinking that circle, getting back to the circle. Healthy protein, healthy fats, you know, it's like fuck trans fats, partially hydrogenated. So much research how unhealthy that is for you. No need to do that when you just get some healthy shit instead, you know? And just literally wipe out your freaking
So how can these guys, how can they find the difference between a trans?
Just look at the ingredients. Just get in a habit of looking at the ingredients and the food you're eating, and just go simple. Like literally snacks. Yeah, freaking go and get a bunch of nuts.
So are you checking like the codes on the back of things?
So
if you looked at that little.
Yeah.
So what are you holding first off?
This is fruit snacks.
Okay.
And on my first look, this is okay. It's not too bad. The first three ingredients, if you see the first three ingredients and it's not shitty, you're probably good. It's juice concentrates from grape, pear, peach, passion fruit, pineapple, Actually, corn syrup looks like the second ingredient, but it's not high fructose, you know. So I mean, it is a high concentrate of simple sugars. But
when would you eat this then? Would you eat this?
I would not be against it. So before a workout, if somebody handed me one of these, well, yeah, I'm gonna burn it all off. It's carbohydrates, you know. And right after a workout, you need the glycogen restored. But there's some other stuff in here. There's gelatin, which I don't know. You can do your own research on that. I don't know if that's a negative thing. It's probably fine. Yeah, natural and artificial flavors, pretty minor probably. Some alpha, so some stuff I can't pronounce. You should be a little hesitant if it's stuff you can't pronounce, but there are some things that you can't pronounce that look next to it and it'll say in parentheses it's actually just vitamin C or something, some form of something. So anyways, these aren't that bad.
So you would buy these at the grocery store?
Yes, I looked at the ingredients. They look legit. You never fall for what's on the front. So on the front, this says 100% vitamin C, fat-free, gluten, of course. Well, dude, why would gluten be in fruit and snacks? This just shows how much the American public is like ignorant about simple health. So anyways, but yeah. So what was the question one more time?
So no, I was just giving the example of what you look at for when you go to the grocery store.
When I go to the grocery store, I've even fallen for tricks before because I saw this one thing that had picture and it was like buy this Nestle or V8. Unfortunately, I should have known better with the Nestle, but it had a picture of sweet potato, quinoa on the front, and like I think beets and like peas, and it was like protein shake. I was like, oh hell yeah, because quinoa. Oh, I need to get into that.
Quinoa is good, yes.
Super good. It's a complex carb, which you want to go in general for complex carb. It's longer sustaining carbohydrate energy. The reason it's complex, it takes longer to break down. If you were to relate carbohydrates to throwing fuel into a fire, complex carbs would be the thick, dense wood that you put in the fire that burns for a long time, and simple sugars would be the hay that you just throw and just poof, within like a minute, which gives you a crash and whatnot. So yeah. So sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice. The harder and longer it takes for your body to digest, the more complex it is, thus the more sustaining energy it is, and that's what you want to go. Unless you like the high intensity of stuff and then crashing. If you like to live that way, then keep eating simple sugars and keep eating a bunch of
I'll go ahead and say that's not the best way because of the vasodilation and all that stuff.
You're medically, you know a lot more medical stuff than I do.
People shouldn't live that way, but okay, keep going.
Yeah, so then I'll talk experience-wise and functional world. You want the complex carbs to get that steady state of energy, to help focus and whatnot. It's way better. So quinoa, super simple, cheap. Brown rice, super simple, cheap. There's buckwheat, there's oatmeal, and those are. I'm not anti-gluten, by the way, but those are gluten alternatives.
Okay.
So there's. Yeah, I don't think buckwheat actually has wheat gluten in it, but I might be wrong. So those are some simple, healthy alternatives to carbohydrates. And then, of course, fruit, they're more on the simple scale, but they are healthy and they're not high fructose. It's natural. Your body has been eating and made to digest fruit all the time, and that's a great way to start the day. Actually, there's a lot of nutrients you need in that.
So fruit in the morning, you're doing a lot of fruit, you do the toast,
you
do
throw in like a shake. If you're making a protein shake, really good protein I recommend is called Plant Fusion. If you look at the amino acid profile on that, super, super legit. And then I actually get some greens and reds, and I mix that in with the protein, and you can just throw that in a shake with some ice and a little bit of fruit, and you'll literally probably get almost perfect 4-to-1 carb protein ratio. But I don't really get nitty gritty. It's well understood that's a good ratio to have, and your body will get what it needs. But you do need enough protein and carbohydrates after a workout, and you want healthy, easy digestible proteins and carbohydrates.
So you're shaking in the morning, shaking before a workout or after a workout?
Well, you definitely want to get, you want it before or after the workout. Probably after is better. They say within 30 minutes. That's when you're most ideal to take in that protein. If you have if you don't have that option, like there's been times where I didn't have that option when I was at airborne training. You couldn't take food back, and Anyways, so you could load up on food beforehand, and then yeah.